Kamil, thanks for joining us. So this is going to be about Polkadot Proposal 1549, KAGOME, Polkadot Host. Would you like to give us a bit of a background?
The development of KAGOME started even much before the launch of Polkadot or even Kusama, when Web3 Foundation basically contacted us to start working on alternative client implementation, because the idea of kind of having multiple clients, which is discussed a lot today in the light of gem upgrade that's coming. So yeah, that idea was actually accepted a long time ago. Since then, our project received multiple funding from Web3 Foundation, and there were 3 treasury proposals. I think the first one was from Kusama, and then 3 from Polkadot. So since then, we were the first alternative client implementation to be launched on Westend, and the first clients launched on Kusama, and recently we were finally able to launch on Polkadot. Today, Polkadot has really 2 live client implementations. One is Polkadot SDK and another is KAGOME. That means we already increased the resilience and the security of the network. I would say that the great first step increasing that, because we need kind of to increase now the portion of validators actually running KAGOME. But what really is and why we need it for Polkadot? So if we just have a single client implementation, which is Polkadot SDK, we really rely on a single team, on a single client. And if some bug is happening in this single client implementation, which is Polkadot SDK, and then the entire network could struggle with different problems. For example, the recent dispute storm that happened on both Polkadot and Kusama actually, I think, demonstrated very clearly that we need multiple client implementation, because this time, I didn't yet get the post-mortem, but would be very curious to see what exactly happened. But I think we experienced another dispute storm that actually led to parachain block times being too slow, and that led to some missing vote slots by validators, which led to kind of less error points, error rewards for validators and nominators. That problem is already actually affecting the users and validators. We have a huge portion of validators actually not running Polkadot SDK, but other client, which is, for example, could be KAGOME. Then it would be very unlikely that the same bug would happen on a huge portion of validators, so that it can really affect the network. For that, we of course need kind of very reliable alternative client implementation, and in the past we did good work for that, I believe. So for the past, at least 8 years, we were behaving pretty good. So user A grade. Maybe you already using as nominator, because sometimes we end up in top validators by APY. So some wallets, they kind of auto select us. I think we have around more than 600 nominators at the moment. To the best of my knowledge, so we have 2 validators that are executed by our team. We also have at very least 2 other teams that actually running KAGOME validators in Kusama. And in Polkadot, it's just us for now. But we're going to increase this portion of validators running KAGOME to increase the resilience and security of Polkadot and Kusama networks, with the help of Web3 Foundation, who were very supportive for the whole period of development of KAGOME. With their support, we were able to, and the support from Decentralized Nodes program, we were able to execute and launch KAGOME. In future applications to Decentralized Nodes program, when you will be filling the forms, you will see that there are 2 options. It's either Polkadot SDK or KAGOME. Web3 Foundation will try to incentivize more people to actually choose KAGOME, so that we have diversity not only kind of in node operators, but also in clients that these node operators are using. But I think one of the main concerns that people have today is that, well, great, we have KAGOME, it's Polkadot relay chain client, and we have gem upgrade coming in the future, but it is not clear when this upgrade is coming, because our team is also developing a gem client, so hopefully we'll participate in that testing. And then there will be a huge work to migrating the parachains, the existing parachains from Kusama and Polkadot to gem. We believe that this will take a lot of time. And moreover, even after that, after gem upgrade, it still will be relevant to kind of have things like KAGOME, because a lot of code will be reused, for example, for parachain clients, which we're actively investigating right now. And even after gem, the existing Polkadot clients still will be needed.
You mentioned about the recent incident in Kusama, the dispute storm. So could that have been prevented if KAGOME was available for the public?
As I said, I didn't see the post-mortem, and the a detailed breakdown of what exactly happened. But what I can comment on is that in the past, there were other incidents. There were upgrades which broke the network. Sometimes the finality stalled, or sometimes the runtime upgrade. And if we had multiple clients in that situation in the past, then this wouldn't happen. This is why we have today Ethereum, which has multiple client implementation that it never had downtime. So we want to introduce this to Polkadot, not wait for Gem for that. And moreover, when Gem goes live, we will need a lot of logic will be on parachains level. So Gem will basically be responsible for safety, whereas parachains will be responsible for liveness. So there will be also clients diversity needed there as well.
I think it's quite clear that it's a required thing. There are two questions here for me. One is, why is it taking so long for this to reach a level of maturity suitable for general availability? And what is the state of the documentation of the Polkadot Host spec?
Initially, indeed, the main source of knowledge for us was the specification, and we were kind of relying, I would say, too much on that. So we expected it to be perfect so that we can just wait for some feature to be explained there and only after to be implemented. Soon after, we understood that this is not the case. So for us, it's better to really read the code. That requires a lot of efforts. On the whole planet, we have maybe 5 or 6 people who understand how exactly in all details how parachain protocol works. And few of them are in our team. And even for them, it took a lot of time to implement the protocol so that we were able to launch on Westend, I think, 2 years ago, on Kusama a year ago. So at some point we reached the level of maturity that we can participate in consensus. Then we were able to participate in parachains protocol so that we can just validate blocks. Then we didn't want to launch on Polkadot until 2 conditions. First, we have the same level of performance and ERA rewards for validators that Polkadot SDK has. So we achieved that. And second thing was the security audit, because one of the precondition, and that was explicitly noted by Web3 Foundation multiple times, that we need security audit. And we were introduced to SR Labs guys, the same people who actually conduct security audit of Polkadot SDK. So now we can claim that we at least as secure as Polkadot SDK. I would say the specification current state, it is not good enough, to be honest, to just take it and to implement a new client from scratch. However, there are some good things that we now have RFC process, which is mostly maintained by the Polkadot Fellowship. There is a requirement for them to if there is a feature that changes how protocol operates, it should be explained and submitted as RFC, reviewed by fellowship members, approved, and only then it could be released. So that was very helpful. A lot of the scope of our new proposal actually is to implement these new RFCs, which were missing in KAGOME, so that we are up to date with the most recent features. And
I agree that having 2 different implementations, host implementations, is going to help. Why is it taking so long, and why is it still not live yet? And connected to that, is Web3 Foundation really going to endorse this in decentralized nodes?
We constantly in the contact with them. They are asking how the things are going. I just had a call today with Web3 Foundation.
Okay. So can you recommend KAGOME to us? Can we just start running it today?
I invite everyone to try it. I can share a link maybe in your Telegram group with the instructions how to get started and deploy KAGOME using either Docker Compose or service files. Please do this. On Westend, out of 19 validators, 3 are running KAGOME. I think 2 of them by our team, and the third one, I believe, by ChainSafe. In Kusama, as far as I know, it's us who have 2 validators, and I believe at least 2 other teams. And in Polkadot, it's just us, but hopefully, we'll grow these numbers.
So why do you think this kind of hesitation from the community?
Judging by your questions, I understand that you understand the infrastructure much better than some other people do. And many people, they are not as deep in the context of what's going on with Gem and the current state of clients in Polkadot and Kusama. Honestly, I think we also did some strategic mistake with the timing of this proposal, because it was just published on Thursday. Then folks from AAG and Chaos DAO, I think they have a week to vote for proposal and then submit their vote. During this period of time, I couldn't properly contact them, so I went to AAG in a week, like next Thursday, exactly during my presentation there, they casted their vote, so it was Nate. And same happened to Chaos DAO, so that's how we obtained these votes. It's great here we have possibility to talk to you personally before you submit your vote, so that you can ask all of your questions. Unfortunately, that was not the case for 2 other DAOs that voted Nay. Some of people from these DAOs, they changed their vote after I spoke to them or after some of my presentation.
Are you guys working on a jam implementation as well? I think you signaled that, right?
Yes, part of our team is kind of moving some parts of Kagome to our new jam client. It's called Morom. It's written in C++. We're applying some new techniques and some of our experience that we learned from Kagome and making it much more modular. We have networking, the Gem SMP protocol working there. We implemented binary tree and passed tests for Safrol and STF and many other tests. Yeah, actually working on that as well.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Great. Thanks a lot for your time.
Good luck.